Alright, I am on a job at effectively what is a neighbor's in the neighborhood, and we are fixing up their backyard here. So I actually did some work for them a couple years back out in the front, just cleaning up the front corner around the building here, and they finally got all the trees out of the back. As you can probably tell, there's a bunch of bald spots. That's where a bunch of stumps were ground. So we're gonna have to be doing some leveling, some root removal here, and then importing some more loam. But hard to make out on camera, though you can still see, you know, some big chunks of root and stump left over. And unfortunately, since everything is so wavy, you might be able to see at this angle, the well head is probably about a foot or two higher grade level than right beside it. And then over here it falls down even further, and it's just kind of wavy. But the overall goal is to try to get all of the grade going this way anyway. So I'm going to try to use the skid steer with the soil conditioner to beat all this up and start working this material around and finding out what stumps are still going to be a problem and which ones aren't. And as we can see over here, some more stumps were ground. Unfortunately though, like right here, this is a solid stump right there still. You're going to be finding a lot of that. So this is up in the front, on the side. And when I was here last, I just rough cleared basically from here over. And what we're going to do is try to help clean up the rest of this slope here so that we can get all of our watershed going equally down off to the side instead of pooling in the back here. So this is definitely going to be a bit more interesting than I had originally thought. I totally didn't see this this chunk of stump still existing previously. I didn't bring my stump grinder over, but my house is right down the road, so I can go grab it if we need to grind some more stumps down. You know, worst case scenario, I do have the excavator here to try to rip up some of these excess roots, which I was expecting. As you can see, it's the 26 that's here. I had actually just used it on a job, so I dropped it off, but the steel wrist on the 50 was still broken when I brought that over here. I actually just got word yesterday that it's back at Bobcat fixed, so I will be going to pick that up and might be swapping these machines out depending on how these stumps look. All right, that gets the rough grade in. A couple spots are a little bumpy in there, but the plan is to be bringing in loam to do all this over. There's a fair amount of decent topsoil in here. It's just that there's so much undulation, rocks, and roots that without really digging everything up, it's going to be pretty messy. So, and speaking of that, there is that main stump right there, and then another one behind it. Those two are problematic for the grade. Everything up against the wood line's not too bad because I can just clean it up with some loam. And then down here, there's a rock there, and this giant stump in this area, which is partially ground. So right now the pitch goes pretty nicely until about right here where this stump is, and then from everything here on over I have to cut it down like probably almost a foot, just because of the way that water will get trapped over here. So it's hard to tell on camera, but right before that stump basically is our low point right now. I ultimately have to come through here and pull this down maybe another 6 inches, and I'll do that with the excavator just because of the pitch. And there's another buried stump right here. Okay, back basically a day later. We've gotten about 1.5 inches of rain. It's still raining, but kind of want to do some cleanup here so I can prep a little bit more. I'm going to try and go around and clean out all these humps and bumps left by the stumps to figure out what I either have to grind or what I can pick out. And then as you can see over here, as I was talking about the other day, there's still a low spot right here because of that other stump and stump behind it. So I'm going to try to come through here and see if I can make a nice cut right through the center here to get this water to continue down that way. And then if I have any decent excess material, put it back up in here to help fill this up a bit more. So I do have the steel wrist back for this machine. It's on the trailer on a pallet right now, but since I'm going to be picking around these stumps and probably doing some more prying, I'm just going to leave it off for the moment because there's really no need for it with this type of work. Well, hopefully the rest of these go like that. Basically just piece out all the excess parts and make the grade nice and smooth. Alright, so that opens this up over here, so this water can start naturally draining down. It's not perfectly graded by any means, but I just wanted somewhere where this water will release this pool here and help distribute it out. Everything right now is such a pancakey mess because of all of the water we've been getting, and there's a lot of clay underneath this surface here, so it's going to take a little while, I think, for this to dry out so I can actually grade it again.
For some reason it was a pain to get it on because this pin did not want to go into the receiver, so not sure why. All the buckets go in fine. This one was being real finicky, but got it in either way, locked in and ready to be used. All right, well, it's pissing hydraulic fluid out of this connector right here. So, of course, I'm gonna see if I can get the wrench on it, and hopefully it's not tight enough. You know, I can move it around pretty freely. It doesn't look like it's broken, but I guess we'll see. Of course, as soon as I started spinning it around, I noticed a lot of fluid coming out of here and a nice sheen over all of the water, so. Definitely say this thing has tested my patience over the past few weeks between having error codes breaking in half and leaking all the time. But I will say the company has supported me quite a bit, even out of warranty, for that brake, so I'm very grateful for that. And it's a very useful piece of equipment. Just fortunately, since it's so complex, there's more things that can go wrong, and as an engineer I completely understand it. It's just, it sucks when you're on limited time and you're sitting here messing with the machine more than you're doing the job.
Back 2 days later, still a little wet back here, but I'm gonna hop in the skid steer and see what I can do to sort of grade this out, because I have all the loam on its way. Luckily all this area out where I'm standing right now is pretty solid and graded out enough without any stump material, so there's area to get it dumped. And also try to get all this stump material back over to the side. Alrighty, pretty much everything was drivable except this area over here, so I just smeared it out with the excavator. I'm going to try to let this dry for another day or two before I even try to put more material over it. And over here cleaned up good. I'm going to try to sift through some of this material here, get some of the roots out of it, and then probably actually spread it right behind this where it sits because it's a little low. So right behind this pile, I'm going to try to spread some of this organic material and then put loam over that. So right now I think the first truck is on the way with loam. So I'm going to get the grapple out of the back here so I can start tossing this in the trailer, and we'll go from there. I think it's been a while since I've recorded over here, but this pile's big and encroaching the entrance, so there is not much space left on the top here. I mean, it's more than what was on that other side a year or two ago, but this used to, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, I could see all the way through the entire quarry and go down about another 100 feet. So I'm hoping that they keep accepting stumps throughout this entire season. I just can only imagine how much loam they could get out of this entire pile of stumps if they ever get the guy to grind these things. I mean, they've effectively paid for all of it, because every load I take in here, I mean, they've gone up to about 125 bucks a load for my trailer, and everything else is quite a bit more expensive. So I'm sure they've well paid for getting all this ground. Back the next day, I had 6 loads of loam dropped off yesterday. That should be plenty to cover everything here, considering we also have some decent topsoil that was already on the site. It's mainly I ordered the extra pile here so I could get really good coverage over everything, as well as do a little bit of grade correction in some spots where it's a little low out there, but not enough for bringing in fill. And especially since this hill up here really doesn't have any loam on it, because it was just all backfill dirt. So that thing's going to eat up a whole 1.5 piles easy, and then everything out here will take the rest. That gets all the loam spread out. Actually graded pretty nicely considering how wet everything is. I'm just gonna do this lump here and all that hill with the excavator, and of course touch up spots I can't get with the skid steer with that. And after that I'll rake it. Since it's still so wet and I'm just working mornings, I'm gonna come back tomorrow morning to do the excavator work, and then come back Friday morning to do the raking, more than likely, and I'm planning to have it sprayed Friday. So, well, you know how the last time I said I hope it wouldn't rain again? We ended up getting, I think, 2 more storms, both of which dropping about another inch of rain. So, one of which was last night, of course. And so it's been about 4 days since I've been here, and that the last storm came through last night. And unfortunately, we're gonna have another storm in about 3 days, so I gotta get this site together to get sprayed. And it seems like it's dry enough from first inspection here to at least move the machine around. Really grading all this out the other day helped so that water didn't just stay stagnant in too many areas. Unfortunately, here we had a bit of rutting just because it was still so wet. So I want to see if I can get out and over this. It's been getting some good sun, and then we'll go take care of this hill over here and get that all prepped out. But in talking with the homeowner, it sounds like they're gonna have 8 larger evergreen style trees delivered, which I'm going to be planting along this back edge, kind of around where they have their flags. So I'm going to get the yard graded out, and then I'm going to be sneaking around this backside here with the excavator to plant those in the next couple days before we get it sprayed. So really trying to get everything done here within the next day or so that we can be all set and ready to go. the whole yard is ready for hydroseeding now. Of course I can't rake up here, but the seed will take fine on this material as it's not completely compacted by any means. But that gets everything prepped out, so all I have to worry about is planting some trees over the next day or so, and then I can get this all sprayed. Okay, we got the trees delivered yesterday. These aren't actually as big as I was expecting, and the plan will be to plant them in the back here along where there are flags. Well, everything's all cleaned up, graded out, raked, ready to go for hydroseed. I think it came out really good. The homeowner's really happy with it, and they're really looking forward to getting to use their lawn. Originally, when I was doing the quote, I was talking with the homeowner about how he wanted to plant some privacy trees, and I'd plant them whenever he got them. He just didn't know when it would be, and it just turned out they showed up at the right time, so we got those in. Now all that's left is hydroseeding and watering. Luckily, I'm supposed to get the hydroseed in another day, and we're supposed to start getting more rain again, so get a little bit of natural water, and then it'll all be sprinklers.